Hey guys, welcome back. We have talked about the new Jubel deck coming to Master Duel in the future. If you have not seen that video, check that out. In the top right corner, one of the other decks that will come to us in Master Duel in the future, maybe in the next pack, which would be a bit early, but then I guess in the pack afterwards. So next pack I'm talking about, not the June pack, but the July pack could come in the July pack, but then maybe one pack later. But this deck will come and probably will be the most toxic and the most expensive deck we ever had in Master Duel. And I want to show you why in this video here. We are talking Tenpai Dragon, and I want to show you a very insane thing first here and what makes this deck so unfun to play against, and then I will show you how much damage this deck can do, and then we will also talk about the deck list and I show you why this will with 100% certainty be one of the most expensive decks in Master Duel actually, which is also maybe good, maybe bad, I don't know, we will have to see, but I will show you first what this deck can do, which is really annoying, which is really unfun to play against. But we have one of the starters here in the deck, which is a Tenpai Dragon Pydra, which you can normal summon the guy, activate the effect, and then it either can search the Sangen Kaimen or the field spell, so it can search either or. Obviously the other way around would be better, so we had the Sangen Kaimen in hand, which is the quick play spell that can special summon something in the battle phase, and the Sangen summoning would have been better to have the Sangen summoning in the hand and then Pydra search the Kaimen here, but we can activate the field spell now. The field spell says, if you're not aware, during your main phase 1, which we are currently in, Fire Dragon monsters you control, and all of them are Fire Dragon monsters. Your extra deck also is Fire Dragon monsters as well. Fire Dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. During your main phase, you can add one Tenpai Dragon monster from your deck to your hand and then discard one card. The funny thing is that you have to discard afterwards, so you can activate this effect, and if your opponent ashes you, then you don't lose a card, so this is not cost. So the most important thing is during your main phase 1, Fire Dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So let's imagine we would have started with the Sangen summoning and then summoned the Pydra, then the search of the Kaimen would have been, nobody could have blocked us here. There was no ash, there is no infinite impermanence that you can throw on this, so you can't interact with this in the main phase 1 if the field spell is up. Then we have the Tenpai Dragon Chandra, which we can declare, and if we control another Tenpai Dragon, whereas declare, then we can special summon him. And now we have two bodies on the field. We have the Tuner level 4 and then a level 3, which makes for the first boss monster of the archetype Sangenpai Bident Dragon. So we go Synchro Summon here, and all of them are Fire Dragon monsters, so we are still unaffected. What we can now do is declare the effect of Sangenpai Bident Dragon. This says, if this card is Synchro Summoned, you can target one Fire Dragon monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except Dragon monsters. We are going to resummon the level 3, because now this is a tuner, and this is our non-tuner, and now we have a level 10 access, basically. This one can also resummon itself from the graveyard if 3 or more attacks have been done this round. This can only be done once per duel, though. Now we can go into the real boss monster of the archetype, the Sangenpai Transcendent Dragon, which, come on guys, the artwork on these cards is just amazing, so it's a bit sad that the archetype is so annoying. This card says, and this is a real bomber here, still, remember we are still unaffected by everything because we are in the main phase 1, Sangen summoning, right? It says all monsters your opponent control must attack if able, so if you can summon this on your opponent's battle phase, which you can, then you can sometimes just win the game there. If this card is Synchro Summoned, you can change all monsters on the field to attack position, which obviously gives you more damage, but this deck doesn't really need more damage. And then if 3 or more attacks have been declared, you can also revive this guy from the graveyard here. The important thing here is, where is this line? Where is it, by the way? There it is, I overread this. But the important line is your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. So remember, we are in main phase 1, and our Fire Dragon monsters, all of them were unaffected, so our opponent could not interact with us here in the main phase, right? And now we just go to battle phase, and now our Sangenpai Transcendent Dragon says you cannot no longer interact with us here, so no interaction here. Now we can just play the game and our opponent can do nothing. What we can now do is activate Sangen Kaimen, which is the quick play spell that can add a Tenpai Dragon monster to the hand, and then if it is the battle phase, we can special summon it. We can, doesn't really matter, we can also add the green one here, the third one, which is the worst, but still good, the Pydra and the Fadra, and then we can summon it. Fadra says either on summoning or when an attack is declared in the damage step, we can resummon another Tenpai from the grave. Normally you want to do it in or during the battle phase, but now we can just use it here and revive. In this case, we want our level 4 tuner here, so we can go into another level 7. And now, yeah, we can just continue attacking. We can attack with this guy for 3000 here, with the big guy. Then we can attack with the green dragon here. We can attack with the red dragon. And one other neat thing is that as long as Fadra is on the field, your other fire dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So even if you crash into something that does not have a lot of attack, you can't die. And then if this guy battles during the damage step means that you can't really activate anything here. So this cannot be negated by an Ash Blossom, for example. We can declare it and then summon another Tenpai from the deck. So we can get another Pydra to the field, which the Pydra can obviously also attack. This is another 1/7 here. And the funny thing is that Pydra says that you don't take any battle damage. So you can attack with these little attack monsters and you don't take any damage, and they also don't get destroyed because of Fadra, right? And then because we have declared 3 or more attacks, we can now resummon this guy from the graveyard. So yeah, why not, right? And then we can also once again attack with this guy here, so another 2/6. Then we can use the unofficial boss monster of this archetype here, rank 10, going into our Trident Dragon here. We can take this one, no, not attack directly, this goes to the grave now. We can put it to the grave, and then we also need to use one of our level 3 bodies here. Let's take the Pydra, and then we have the Trident Dragon, which we can now declare because it says when this card is synchro summoned, you can target up to 2 other cards you control, destroy those targets, and if you do for each destroyed card, this card gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase this turn. So we are targeting the Sunken Summoning, goes to the grave. We don't need it anymore to be protected because we are in a battle phase, and we are still protected by this one, and we can destroy, let's say, this one here. The funny thing is that the field spell also says if it gets destroyed, you can target 1 dragon monster or dragon synchro monster you control, double its attack. So we also are declaring this one to double the attack of the Trident Dragon. Not quite sure how this works here. The attack changed, but yeah, this one here basically has now, I will indicate this by the tokens here. This one has 6000 attack points, and it can now attack 3 times because we have destroyed 2 cards with this, right? And now we can just attack 3 times for 6000 damage here, and our opponent is already dead. But if he would not have been already dead, he would be dead by now. Keep in mind, this has also changed in the main phase 1 all of our opponent's monsters to attack position. So even if he had monsters here, he will still lose the game. This deck can also kill through a Pot of Prosperity, which is insane. But yeah, this is the line in which you can not interact with this deck, because main phase 1, the Sunken Summoning, basically protects you as the Tenpai Dragon player from interacting or from being interacted with, and then in the battle phase your Sunken Pai Transcendent Dragon says your opponent cannot do anything, right? So you can lay back in your chair, you can lean back, you can watch this amazing Tenpai Dragon combo happen here. I have to say this is very fun if you can do this combo and attack with all of these heavy bodies here. This is quite fun in doing it, but it's also a very boring strategy, and playing against this is also not that fun. And then we have the Tenpai Dragon, and on this one I wanted to look over here, the Tenpai Dragon deck list, which now I will make the argument for why this might be one of the most expensive decks ever, which might be a good thing, honestly, because then maybe not a lot of people will pick this up. So the first thing, and by the way, a quick little side note here, this deck can play Shifter, so what we will probably see here in Master Duel is a double Shifter in the main deck, which makes this deck even more annoying, obviously. You can play this without Shifter, but yeah, to be totally annoying in the complete sense of the word, you will put the Shifters in here, obviously. So let's look at why this might be the most expensive deck ever, honestly, and this might be a good thing. So we can see the engine is quite big, you could say. We have triple Pydra that you want to play 3 of, we have triple Chandra, we need 2 Fadras, we need triple Sunken Summoning and triple Sunken Kaimen. And the extra deck here we have 2 Bident Dragon and then the Transcendent Dragon, which these are cards that we do not know the rarity of at this current point, but we will have a lot of monsters in the side deck, for example, the Black Rose, the Rudy Rose Dragon, I think Ultimaya Zolkin. If you want to play this Zolkin package here together with Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon, and then cards like the Heretic Seal, you can play a Super Poly package in here, and all of this are basically ultra rare. So the extra deck is very ultra rare heavy for starters, right? Then we can definitely expect some of these Tenpai Dragon cards to be ultra rares. For example, the field spell that you need 3 of. I would guess that in the lowest sense, so obviously we could get them all in normal or rare if for some reason all are super rare. So in the TCG, for example, this was an extremely expensive deck, all of these cards. So the highest card was a super rare Hydra, which goes for 10 euros because, yeah, it's the core card of the deck you need it 3 times. But we could also see a lot of these cards going to rarity or to normal rarity, whatever normal means, N means in Master Duel. But I don't think so. So I guess at the best, we will get like Sangat Summoning as an ultra rare, and then one of the dragons, so either red or the white dragon, and then we would have 6 ultra rares, and obviously the boss monster, which hopefully gets the animation because it would be amazing, will also be ultra rare, and this one might then be a super rare. I don't know, or vice versa could also be the case. Though normally the cards with the animation also are ultra rare. So we would have at least, I guess, 8 ultra rares for this core here, which is not too strange for a new archetype. Having 8 ultra rares is pretty normal, at least as of right now in Master Duel. But we could also see this being more expensive. You could also make like the Pyra, the Sangat Summoning, and the Kaiman ultra rare, and then you would have 9 already plus the boss monster 10, and it could be even more expensive. This is the first part. The second part is that this deck is basically its engine, and then the rest are hand traps and board breakers. As you can see right here, we have triple Super Poly, triple Effect Vader, triple Ash Blossom, we have a Ghost Organ Snow Rabbit, we have Feather Duster, we have Lightning Storms, we have infinite impermanences, or we are playing triple Forbidden Droplets here, and obviously we will not play triple Pot of Prosperity, but then either another of the pots, or we will play even more board breakers and hand traps. So we have 3, 6, these are another 3, so 9. We have 12, we have 15, we have 18, we have 19 non-engine, and this is even, so 19 non-engine that are hand traps and board breakers, and this is very important, and this is even on the low side, right? You have to understand that normally Tempo decks are playing even more of these cards, right? So we could also see something like Pot of Prosperity out of here, and then the D-Shifters in here, which are also ultra rares, by the way, so we're 21 here. We have 21 non-engine, and obviously nearly all hand traps and nearly all board breakers, at least the ones we are using here, and obviously a board breaker like Evenly Matched you could also use normally, which is a super rare. You can't use here because you need your battle phase, haha. So we will need to use these board breakers here, like Super Poly, like Forbidden Droplet, like the Lightning Storms, the Harpy's Feather Duster, and I am aware of the fact that some of them you can get in these packs here. So for example, the Joyous Spring, the Effect Valor, Lightning Storm, you can get one of these in the packs, and also a Forbidden Droplet, I think. But all of the other ones you will have to get, and I doubt that all of you have like triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits, like, because this is a very nice card that you want to play 3 offs if there are a lot of Tempo Dragons, because Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit can destroy the field spell, and if you can destroy the field spell, at least you can interact with this deck in the main phase 1, which means you can stop it at some point, not letting it go to its main combo here, so not giving the deck the opportunity to get this one on the field in the main phase 1. Though keep in mind, we have just the combo we have just looked over. You would need this guy on the field in main phase 1, and then also access to your Sangan Kaiman. So if you can only make this guy, then it doesn't really make sense to do it the way I showed you. But don't you worry, this deck has multiple other ways. This deck basically only needs Chandra to achieve around about 32,000 damage. Only one card here is enough to achieve this, because Chandra could summon in the battle phase the Pyra can search the Kaiman can summon the Fadra, and then you have all of the normal bodies here, which can make all the synchro summon plays that you want. But yeah, as I already said, I think the engine will not be quite cheap, and then you will have to put in hand traps and board breakers for the rest of the cards, and this is the optimal way to play the deck, right? So you don't want to put any other stuff in here, and because we are playing that many hand traps and board breakers, you will need to play hand traps and board breakers that you currently don't have, because I don't think that any obviously everyone has an Ash Blossom, right? But do all of you have triple Effect Vaders? Do you all have triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits? Do you all have 3 or 2 Lightning Storms? Do you have 3 Forbidden Droplets? You will probably have 3 Infinite Impermanence. Do you have like 2 Shifters? These are cards that, or 3 Super Polies. These are very specific hand traps and board breakers that not a lot of people have 3 of. So to play this deck optimally, you have to craft these. So this will be extremely expensive. But as I already said, this might be a good thing, because then we might not have to see a lot of this deck, even though I think this deck will be around in Master Duel a lot, because the artwork is amazing, and I think people like playing this kind of deck. I will also get it and play it. I think it's kind of fun, but for the overall Master Duel experience, it is quite bad. So don't be too excited for this deck. This will break Master Duel, you could say. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this. I have shown you the most toxic interaction, or the most toxic combo here with the Transcendent Dragon in the main phase battle phase thing that I just showed you. This is the most toxic thing ever, because you can do nothing as the opponent. And this is, I think, the definition of a bad Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. If you cannot interact with your opponent, if you are basically sitting there watching your opponent combo and then it's game over. I mean, sometimes against combo decks, this can also feel like this, because let's, for example, say your opponent is Rika and he does his entirely combo and then he has like 5-6 negates on the field, and you see your hand and you are like, okay, I will probably not be able to play through this, and then he also drops some XC on you, so you are like, okay, it's very unlikely that I win this game, but at least you can try, right? At least you can try to do something here. But with this deck, you just can't interact. You can do nothing. You can just either scoop the game or watch the combo happen and see yourself die. But let me know in the comments what you think of this Tenpai problem, or maybe it is not because it is that expensive. We will see. This will be, I don't know what Konami will do with this. I think we will see big hits for this deck before. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they will ban the Trident Dragon, which definitely will give this deck a bit less power, but don't be confused here. This will still be annoying without this. Will still be very strong. You also, for those of you who were not aware of this until now, this is a going second strategy, right? But guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for being here. If you like my comments, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.